Hey, tough and the out of this world story from Street Travel. There are ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back in Street Travel. I am your host Manir.
Story 1. Update. My soon-to-be ex is raging that I'm pregnant with another man's child and wants me to get rid of it. Original post. My 37 female soon-to-be ex, male 37, and I tried for a baby for over a decade, including 3 expensive and painful physical and mentally vaccinations. The last one was 2 years ago. After the third attempt failed, I told him that I was done and couldn't take it anymore. I didn't want to try anymore, and maybe we should give up having children altogether. We loved each other, and maybe that's enough, or maybe we could adopt. He wasn't happy, and a year later, he broke the news that he loved me very much, but that he wanted a child. I told him I couldn't go through this again. I was finally coming to terms with being childless, so he broke up with me. I cried for weeks, and then he started seeing this other girl, so I cried some more. About 5 months ago, I started dating this guy, and because of my condition, I didn't bother with the contraceptives. I got pregnant. I'm 13 weeks now. When my husband found out, my stupid brother told everyone. He was so freaking mad. He wants me to now get rid of it or put it up for adoption. Our divorce isn't finalized, and he wants us to give our marriage a second chance. He loves me and would rather have me than children. And because I got pregnant once, it could happen again, but with the right man. With the other guy, I was just dating when I got pregnant. We're still dating, and he wants to be part of the baby's life, whether we end up together or not. My family thinks that I'm very odd for choosing someone I've known for less than 6 months over my husband of over 10 years. I think what they're asking me to do is moronic and out of line. I can't afford to be a single mom, and I need their help, but they seem to be on my soon-to-be ex's side. I still love him, but how could he ask me such a thing? Need help sorting out my feelings? My opinion is this: he dumped you because having a child meant more to him than you did. So why would you take him back? The bottom line is that you've got to do what's best for you and follow your own heart. And I hope your family comes around to all this too. But best of luck to you, Op. Now for the comments before reading the update. No. He wants you to get rid of your baby so he can try again, not the relationship, but the baby making with you, and then leave you again if he can't get you pregnant. I can't imagine his behavior isn't all that new, to be honest. I hope your family comes around. I hope you and the new guy make it. Exactly, he dumped her because having a child meant more to him than she did. If she aborted and got back together with this a whole and again didn't conceive, he would leave her again. It's almost guaranteed that he has a timeline in his head. No baby within 2 years, time to leave and try with another woman. OP, if you really want this child and are okay raising it with this man who says he wants to be a part of the child's life, no matter what happens between the two of you, go for it. It may end up being a single mom, so hopefully your family will come around, but be prepared to do this alone. Honestly, that's good advice for anyone thinking of having a baby. You should want it enough that you're willing to go through it alone if need be. Your husband made his choice, you weren't it. His demands now are audacious and not your concern. If you want a baby, I don't think you should get an abortion or put it up for adoption because you may never get pregnant again. What happens if you give up the baby, take your husband back, and then are never able to get pregnant again? When you say your family is on your ex's side, do you mean your parents? Do your parents want grandkids or not? It's weird that they would take the side of getting rid of a baby after you've wanted one for so many years. Please don't get back together with this man. I say stay with the baby's father and try and see if that's a viable relationship. Because at the end of the day, it seems like your ex is not satisfied with not having children. You shouldn't try and hope to change his mind. It's even worse because a baby was made and he wants you to go through another invasive surgery to get rid of it due to it not being his. Furthermore, I hate this narrative. It's okay to have trouble conceiving. A lot of women do due to stress and many different medical problems. You went through all of these traumatic experiences, but it takes 2 to make a child. Please don't be the only person to shoulder the blame, because you did get pregnant, so it is possible. I think it's time to look at how maybe the environment and X's equipment was no longer serving you and that it's best to move along. Now for the update. Hi everyone, thanks for your support. I know I wasn't crazy like my family taught me to be for deciding to keep my baby. I love my family, but I think me being pregnant outside of marriage is just too much for them. Besides, I don't think they've totally gotten over the fact that I'm no longer with my soon-to-be ex. They're heartbroken as well because he and I were that perfect couple people aspired to be. Now to my soon-to-be ex, he is not doing well at all. I don't feel that I'm able to help him. He needs better suited people to help him. I told him that for both of our sakes we need to cut all contact. He needs to stop visiting me, and he even needs to stop being in my family's life. I'm close to his older brother, and I'm planning to go no contact with him as well, in case he tells his brother what's going on with my life. Cindy BX texted me later that he wants me and the baby in his life, even if he wasn't the father. I didn't answer him. Honestly, I don't know what to answer when he asked me to have an abortion a few weeks prior. I will probably change my number and maybe move. To answer the question I got the most, no, my soon-to-be ex wasn't the problem. He's not impotent and he doesn't shoot blanks. I am the problem. He's probably going to have children without any problems, just not with me. I don't know why or how I got pregnant. The doctor's only explanation was, I just did. Sometimes when you're not stressed and let it be, it just happens. And it did with me. There are no guarantees that I could get pregnant again. The new guy is wonderful with me. None of what happened was something we planned and both are scared because we really don't know each other. But we have discussed it. I told him that I wanted the baby and that he's free to run, but he didn't. Now the worst case scenario is that we break up and I become a single mom, and it isn't that bad actually. So we're just enjoying each other and it's been amazing. I have never had such strong orgasms in my entire effing life, so no complaints there. I hope we stay together. I pray for my baby to be healthy, and I wish you all who supported me, not the nasty ones though, a great day. Yes, writing from my phone. I do not proofread and English is my third language. Don't judge, okay? Story 2. Update. My wife cheated on our 10-year anniversary plus update. Original post. My 35 male wife, 35 female, and I were married 10 years ago yesterday. She has been working on a big project for the last few months. The last 4 weeks or so she has been putting in extra time, staying late, going in early to finish up by a deadline. This is a career maker for her. I work construction. With the rain that we've had, we have crazy hours trying to make up the time that we've missed, so I work 12 hours on the days. It's nice. Sometimes it's a little longer. If it's raining when I get up, I don't go in. Some days we get sent home when it starts too dangerous. I usually hit the gym for an hour or two. Thursday we started at 6 a.m. Mid-morning it started to rain hard. We went home. I go to the gym as usual. I cut the workout short and head downtown to see my wife Megan, to give her flowers and make plans for dinner that night if possible. We really haven't seen each other much this week. I went to bed at about 9 p.m. She wasn't home. Called her earlier. She's working late. Not unusual for the past month. I stopped and got some flowers and went to her building about 12:30. Nicole was at the receptionist's desk. I told her I got here later than I wanted. Could she put the flowers on Megan's desk? She said, I don't think they went to lunch yet. Why not drop them off by yourself? She buzzed the door to get back to the office. The place was deserted. I went to her office. The door was closed. I always walk in unless the receptionist tells me she is in a meeting. I walk in. Some guy is standing behind her, nuzzling her neck. She is reaching back over his head. She is giggling only as she can, saying, we gotta get this done. I am gut punched. I slammed the flowers down and said happy anniversary and walked out. I didn't hear what she said, just went past Nicole, said goodbye and left. Made it to the elevators and out of the building, then my phone started ringing. I bawled my eyes out all the way home, went into the garage, pulled up my camping gear out of the rafters and took off. I drove about 2 hours to the state park. I had no idea what to do. I just had to run. I hiked a trail we have been on in the past, about a 3-hour hike. I don't drink much, so I had no booze. I just sat there thinking. Looking back, I'm glad I was in a rush. Normally, I bring a .45 caliber with me camping. We have black bears which generally scare off, but can get aggressive if hungry or if there's cubs around. The way I was feeling, I might have eaten the barrel that night. My phone was blowing up from Megan, so I had to turn it off. I left the park to get reception turned on to see my good friend called. I called him back. He said Megan called him to check on me, make sure I didn't do anything stupid. We talked a bit, told him I got to think this through. We catch up on Friday. So while I'm thinking about this, I go over our marriage from the beginning to see what I missed. We come from completely opposite backgrounds. My grandfather raised me with my mom. He taught me about life. He had a little saying about everything. He told me marriage would be the hardest job that you ever have. You had to work on it every day. God, I miss him. We did not have much. Heard Mom and Grandpa having many discussions about bills. They worked hard, and my brother and I did not miss out on anything that we knew of. Megan was born into money. Not overly rich, but very comfortable. We went to great colleges, we always had great clothes, new cars, etc., and she is beautiful. 11 out of 10 are beautiful. I would joke with her if she coughed about the silver spoon getting stuck in her throat. When we met, we headed off and started dating. I was dumbfounded how such a woman would ever be with me. We dated quite a while before she told me about her parents' lifestyle. Our friends called us the model couple because we thought we were so good looking. We had to be models. Families were not as kind, afraid of the differences economically would come to play. Her dad and I started to get along, but her mom took some convincing. She graduates, gets her first job, and we plan on getting married. We work out between us that we would expose each other to the lives that we live. I took her whitewater rafting, and she took me to the symphony. We went ziplining, we went to an art opening, etc. We agreed we had to experience the other's interests. She was really enthused about the more physical things that we did. I kind of liked the symphony and such. I own 2 tuxedos now. I look back and do not see any red flags. Her first 2 jobs she quit because the men all tried to get in her pants. She was paraded out in front for photo ops, invited to conferences when other newbies were not. At dinner at a conference, a partner tried to get her drunk, then tried to force her into her room that night. She quit the next job, the same thing, quit again. This third job was women, as some of the partners, and none of that BS is in her workplace. She seemed very happy. We seemed very happy. So now Friday I am home. I called her, asked where she was, back at work. I, being in a smart-ass mood, said that the marriage is taking second place to her job. She responded, since I would not talk, what was she to do? Fair enough. She will be home in an hour, so I wait. I want to save her marriage. If I'm lacking in providing, then I want to fix it. I want to ask why, of course, but I cannot accept I don't know as an answer. How do I phrase this? What should I be asking? I know I will get all emotional and forget everything, so over the next few days we will be going over and over this. What she did is wrong, but please no degrading comments. She is still my wife. Thank you in advance. Now for the update. Okay, here is an update from the last couple of days. I am exhausted and sorry for the bad form that is about to happen. Wife and I had a marathon talking session on Friday late into the night. I started by asking that she be honest in all answers and be complete. Do not tell me half-truths. It'd have to be asked several different ways to get a complete answer. She agreed. I started with why. Answer, I don't know. Kind of what was expected. We went round and round, and this, finally I said, how many times did you have sex? Started to dodge, but when I let out a sigh, she shook my head. She said 6 or 7 times. That started things rolling. I kept my cool. How long? Last 3 weeks, back to why. Did not give an answer. You still love me? Yes, saying it is because we are done trying to save the marriage. No, with some conviction. You find me attractive? Yes. Why? Still can't answer. Am I not giving you something that you were looking for? Here she hesitated but quickly recovered. I knew I was on to something. Could not crack the nut though. Finally, about midnight, I was tired, she was tired. I said, Megan, you're an intelligent woman. I cannot believe you cannot articulate why I am asking about it. She started crying, saying she was trying to answer my questions. I said, okay, enough for tonight, time for bed. She starts to walk towards the door. I asked where she was going. To my parents' house. I told her that this is our house. I'm not asking you to leave. She stopped crying at that point. I said, we are not divorced or separated. That may come, but for now we need to be together until we sort this out. We actually slept in the same bed, not sex in case you were asking. I am up most of the night. I am reading some of the comments and DMs. I had some great comments and back and forth with a few people. One told me that women generally marry up in social status. We were unusual, maybe with second thoughts. One suggested that maybe I was right, that I was not fulfilling something for her. But one told me that there was a post a few days ago describing this scenario, but from the women's point of view, asking what she should do. He could not find it on the subs he looked at. So I pulled up Reddit and Megan's account, looked at her history, bingo. She was the one who posted. So this morning, bright and early, we start again. I start out, why? Same answer. We go round and round. She's getting annoyed. Then I say, did this guy challenge you intellectually? The look on her face was priceless. You read my post. For the masses, she described how she caught the feeling when they first kissed. Make-out session in the hotel, she left. Next morning after I left for work, she hightailed it over to the hotel to put an end to it, then had sex. It continued at least up to her posting. I am sure a couple of days later I'd discover them. She also was weighing whether to leave, then says this is moving way too fast, she needs to separate from this guy. So I present this to her that she thinks I am a dumb hick. No, she was attracted to him because this project they were on is his idea. She feels she is getting passed by and needs to up her game. The stimulation from this led to the attraction and the rest. Now I don't know. I know her, she was insecure. Now the floodgates open, we are having a great dialogue through the issue. Mid-afternoon she wants a break. She leaves to her parents. So I'm writing this update, knocking on the door. Okay, gotta say I am really tired now. There stands Megan's mom. I tell her Megan is on the way to their house. She knows she wants to talk to me. She has never been to her house by herself. She has never, that I remember, talked to me privately. She says that she is not here to sway me in any way. She would accept any decision that I make, but she wants to tell me her story. She was married once before Megan's dad. I knew that. The man she was married to was the love of her life. Didn't have much. She met her now husband, and they caught some feelings. Before they cheated, she told the first husband they were done, divorced, and married the new guy. He had some money, but was an up-and-coming exec. Couple years go by, but I'm not happy. I made a mistake. Old husband moved on and is married. She gets pregnant, has Megan, goes into depression, was actually institutionalized. 2 years later, pregnant with brother, repeat cycle. Couple years later, my sister was born again. No more kids, she is fixed. Everyone thought it was, but it mirrored her ex also expanding his family. To this day she knows where he lives, his kids' names, etc. She has never gotten over leaving the love of her life. She sees how I am with Megan. She sees that she is my love. She saw it when she quit her first job and how I took care of her. She got up and left saying nothing else. This is really long and no, please mods stay with me. Couple of things to clean up. Much talk about Megan's first 2 jobs. None of you were there when she got off that plane and collapsed into my arms. We weren't married yet. Harassment is real. Report it to who? The guy owned the company. She did right and quit. The second job was more of the same. She left as soon as she felt uncomfortable. So F you to all those bad-mouthing her actions. Next up, I asked for civility in treating Megan. Someone said the kind Reddit community has offered great advice. I called BS. They, for the most part, offered insults, bad language, very little insight. Thank you to the kind people who DM'd. You were the best. Those that shared their stories, I appreciate you and hope your journey from here is a smooth one. Want to know about Nicole? Nope. Want to know what the future holds? Nope. Oh, and her post will be removed. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for ruining my sister-in-law's birthday dinner because she encouraged her kids to pull a prank? Longer version. My husband and I, a 38-year-old female, went to my sister-in-law's house for her birthday. It's quite a long drive, so we drove up the day before and stayed overnight in their spare room. Their birthday meal was going to be midday. She has 2 kids ages 4 and 7. Husband and I went in separate cars as we were coming from different workplaces to get there. I am very short-sighted and literally can't see 1 foot in front of my face without my glasses. Every night I take them off and put them on the nightstand right where I know I can reach them in the morning. Now apparently my sister-in-law thought it would be a funny prank to get her kids to sneak into the room. I sleep with earplugs in because my husband is a loud snorer and takes and hides my glasses. In the morning of her birthday, I couldn't find my glasses on the nightstand. I had to ask my husband to help in case they had fallen off and under the bed or something, but we couldn't find them anywhere. I was really distraught because, as I said, I'm literally almost non-functional without them. Husband helped me down to breakfast, and I explained that I wouldn't be able to take part in the midday meal at a nearby restaurant and couldn't drive myself home. I was really upset. They are also expensive glasses because I have to get the lenses thinned, etc. So about 600 euros. Sister-in-law let this go until they are literally about to go for a birthday lunch. I'd not been able to do much at all up until this point because I can't see. Then she jokingly said to her kids, "Okay, that's enough, I think, go get them." And the kids ran off to fetch my glasses from where they are hidden. She said not to blame them at all. I don't. And it was her idea and just a bit of harmless fun. Put my glasses on, got in my car, said nothing at all, and just drove home. My husband is on my side and has apologized on my sister-in-law's behalf, saying that she thought I would see the funny side. He is very apologetic and offered to skip her birthday meal as well and come home. But he is being apologetic, not her. I've had nothing from my sister-in-law except from an angry WhatsApp message to the group. Not directly to me, but to the family group saying that her birthday had been ruined because someone couldn't take a joke. Apparently after I left, she had a meltdown about how the day was ruined because I drove off and the kids were upset. It is genuinely distressing for me to not be able to see, but I see how she might have thought this would be funny to get her kids to do it. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I feel bad that the kids think that they are the reason I was upset or that they did something wrong. Now for the advice. Not the a-hole. I don't see how this is a prank and supposed to be funny. But maybe if she let this go on for 10 minutes, some would see the humor in it. To let it go on for seemingly hours is ridiculous. And then to top it off, she didn't even apologize. It also seemed strange to get the children involved. If it was their idea, it would be one thing, but she recruited her children to play a prank that wasn't even funny. This is a case of STPID games win STPID prizes. She still seems to feel it was amusing. For me to stumble around all morning also in a panic, and yes, you are correct, it was hours. We got up around 8 a.m. Lunch was scheduled for 2 p.m. I stumbled around trying to find my glasses for about 5 hours before she told the kids to go retrieve them. Not a hole. Personally, I'm not a fan of practical jokes in most circumstances. They often seem cruel and unkind. This circumstance is no exception. You handled the situation very well in my opinion. I would have been hard-pressed to remain civil after someone watched me visibly and obviously struggle for 5 hours when they could have quickly fixed it. Not to mention your sister-in-law having the audacity to get butthurt when you didn't appreciate it and tried to claim it was a joke. Sister-in-law owes you an apology, not that you'll get a genuine one based on her reaction. Yeah, just to emphasize that taking somebody's medical equipment or medication is never effing funny. Glasses, hearing aids, canes, walkers, crutches, wheelchairs, prosthetics, braces, casts, service animals, special shoes, whatever else. If it's not yours, don't effing touch it without the owner's permission. Ever. Even if the owner doesn't need to use them all the time. Even if the owner isn't as severely impaired as op. Even if you think it's really cool and just want to see it for a second, don't effing touch it.